Stories for Monday, April 21st. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Today on the show, we'll be diving into questions from the head of Instagram, including answers to what information is important to include in your bio, and how do paid subscriptions work on Instagram. All of that and more on today's episode, but first, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back. Let's dive into the questions from the head of Instagram, and let's start with all the questions that are related to your bio page first. I like to make the show thematic in some way. Sometimes it's hard to find the themes, but I always want to do that. Let's start with the first question on the bio page, which has to do with thumbnails. If you're not familiar, you can add a cover image or a thumbnail to the post that you make on Instagram. And although people will not see it when they see the post, if they go to your profile page, you can have quite a nice layout for them that they will find attractive. Probably not, though. It's more likely they're not going to notice or care at all, and it's really just you who cares about that aesthetic. The question, do thumbnails on Reels matter? Here's Adam's answer.
They matter a little bit, but not a lot. People are only going to see your thumbnails when they go to your profile, and some people do that, but most of how people are going to see your Reels is in feed or in Explore or in the Reels tab.
So based on that answer, maybe don't spend a ton of time making a really graphically interesting thumbnail or cover image every time you post a reel. It's probably not going to be worth that investment of time. Let's continue with the bio-related questions. The next one, what's important to include in a bio? I would be sure to include your real name or brand name and how to find you online outside of Instagram. I would also try to include a few words about who you are or what you do to give it context. I know it's tempting to list maybe all the places that you've traveled or all the hobbies that you have, but try to give people an idea of what your content is about if you can.
Your bio, I think, should be whatever you want it to be, but generally it's your place to tell the world or whoever's coming to your profile what you're about. And so I think a little bit of context and maybe a bit of details on what to expect can help.
Okay, now let's talk about some of the strategy questions. The first one, do shorter reels get shared more often than long ones? I would think the answer to that question would be yes. People have very short attention spans these days. All the apps have conditioned us to scroll away if we don't like something. So I think if we're going to share something, we want whoever we're sharing it with to get the point of why we're sharing it very quickly. And so therefore, I would think that short reels would get shared more than longer ones.
Generally speaking, yes, though it's not massively so. We focus on short form video because if you watch a really long video, then that's a lot of likes, messages, other connections with friends that don't happen, including shares. Generally, though, it really just depends on what kind of creator you are. If you're going to make something shareable, it might take a while if you're a comedian to get to the punchline, and that's okay. Whereas if it's just an amazing scene or feat of, athleticism, then maybe it doesn't take that long. I wouldn't focus too much on it. I would try to focus more on what story you want to tell and what you want to get out of using Instagram. But generally speaking, shorter does get shared a bit more.
Okay, let's continue with another question about reach. Can reposting old reels as trial reels help me reach new people? The answer to that would be yes. It's not a massive effect that the second you post it, all of a sudden thousands of new people are going to see it. That's not exactly how it works, but that is a good strategy. Here's Adam's answer to this question.
Yeah. If you take an old reel and you post it as a trial, it'll be eligible to show up for people who don't follow you. Particularly if you took that post from, before trials existed, it's a way to try and reach some new people, and you can see if it does well, and you can decide if you want even to upgrade it and post it again.
There's nothing wrong with reposting old content, by the way. I think sometimes we're so used to focusing on new and like the trend and what is the thing that is popular right now that has not been done before. What if somebody saw this piece of content in the past and now I don't think it matters that much. People watch the same movies over and over. I personally have seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off about 1 billion times, and I'll still watch it every chance I get. Don't worry. If you want to repost your old content, don't worry that people have seen it before. It could be completely fresh, or they could have forgotten about it, or they loved it last time and they love it again. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how paid subscriptions work on Instagram, how to upload higher quality videos, and if it makes sense to delete the old posts on your Instagram profile. All of that and more, but first, a quick word from our sponsor. Welcome back. Let's talk about video quality on Instagram. In general, you want to have the highest possible video quality when you upload to Instagram. I would suggest being on Wi-Fi when you upload to Instagram, but there is a upload at highest video quality setting, which you want to make sure is turned on. The head of Instagram got the question, how can I make video quality better when I upload? Here's his answer.
When you're uploading a video, you can go to advanced options and you can actually click upload HD or high quality. This will take longer and use more data, but it'll mean we have a higher quality version of the video that we can serve people. It will not affect your reach, though a lot of creators value it. So we wanted to make sure it was an option.
Let's go on to the next question, which has to do with deleting old posts. Should I delete my old photos to grow my profile from scratch? This is an interesting question. Let's go on to the next question. Should I delete my old pics to grow my profile from scratch? This is a good question. There may be times when you change niches or you're starting a new business and you want to delete the old content on your account so that you can kind of give it a fresh start. I understand the logic behind doing that, and you can always archive your old posts so you can still access them if you need to.
It won't help you do so. I mean, I think that for some people, they like to keep their grid super clean and delete old things. Rick Rubin actually only has one thing on his profile at any given time, but it's not going to actually help your reach. It's just your personal preference. Your profile is your space. You should make with it what you want.
Let's talk about paid subscriptions next. Paid subscriptions is a way to earn money from the people who follow you on Instagram. I am not a fan of paid prescriptions personally because I think the platform should pay you. They're making money from ad revenue, and I think platforms should pay creators. I don't think viewers should pay creators, but that's my personal opinion. The question, how do paid subscriptions work?
If you want, you can actually build a subscriber base on Instagram. You can have content that only goes to your subscribers. You can set the price. It's actually a great way to have a sustainable or maybe more accurately predictable income line. It's not relevant for all creators. You have to have content that people are willing to pay for, but for those who do, it's actually a great thing to try out.
Is it really a great thing? Because if you decide that you want to switch to another platform, maybe you want to focus on YouTube, how will you take those subscribers with you to YouTube? You can't do that. I'm not a fan of this whole concept. And the last question we're going to talk about today, what will the Instagram video editing app bring? Here's Adam's answer.
Over time, edits should be a comprehensive set of creative tools for those who want to make videos on their phone. So not only video editing, but camera capture, a place to find inspiration, a place to collect and organize all of your ideas and connect that to your saved reels from Instagram and even insights. And some pretty interesting things I think are going to come later are some of the more advanced AI tools that we are working on right now.
Just focus on a desktop version. That's all I want. That is going to do it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening, and be sure to come back next time for more social media news, strategy, and other things that you need to know.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually that's factually a fraction of me. And other fractions posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency. But I got a lot of spam, just putting in my work without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that, there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.